Guys, I've got Sasha from Sweet Pickins Milk Paint here. She has her own channel and we already painted these. We're gonna put the link below so you can watch the first half, and for my video, we're gonna be showing you how to make them chippy, distressed, and sealed. So Sasha actually owns Sweet Pickins Milk Paint. She's an amazing furniture artist, right, Sasha?
Thanks.
She's got great style. In fact, some of the stuff that I do looks a lot like some of the stuff you do. I'm inspired by you. But we're using two colors today. First Crush. If you guys have watched my video from like 2 days ago, we used this one. It's a really pretty pink. And then I used Moody Blue. She used no extra bond because her piece was really dry. And I used just a splash of extra bond. But if you want all the information and the nitty-gritty of milk paint from Sweet Pickins Sasha herself, you're gonna wanna make sure that you click that link below and watch part 1 because this is part 2.
We did not use any extra bond on this one. I was hoping we were gonna get chipping with the milk paint, but
there's no chipping happening.
Sadly, we don't have really any chipping where it's noticeable. So
it's chipping right here.
It's the part we're not gonna see. It's chipping.
That's what it would look like if it chipped everywhere else.
So we did get some, like you can see right here, where the paint is lifted.
It's probably where there was some like grease. Yeah. Or leftover oil.
So we were hoping for that all over the dresser, but we didn't get it. So it is what it is. That's what you have to do with milk paint. Now normally, if I was just painting by myself in my shop, I am all about I use an orbital sander and I use this sander here and I go over the whole thing, and sometimes this does cause the paint to chip a little bit, which is great, and it also smooths out the paint so it's really buttery smooth. But for video's sake, I'll just use like a medium grit sandpaper, and then I'll just rub over the whole thing. So you can just distress this like any normal paint that you're using. But you can also, we sell these paint scrapers here, and you can take these, you can actually go over your thing, and sometimes it chips better
Force
than...
it into submission.
Yeah, you can like make the milk paint chip. And the thing to remember too, when you're distressing this by hand, is you just want to mainly hit like the edges and stuff like that. You don't want random sanded spots.
No cheetah looks.
Yeah, Jamie calls it cheetah. Like that's not natural. So you just mostly want to hit the edges and places that it would naturally get wear.
Sasha showed you on her piece how she's going to distress it. I'm going to be using the same sanding block, but I did not mix up my paint super good, so I have chunks of paint on the top of my dresser. But that's not necessarily a bad thing because when I'm going to come across and it's going to give it some dimension. So you can kind of see like all the bubbles and stuff, so it adds a really good aged effect. We did get some crackle here. So we have some crackle here, and there's a few other spots that have that, and that's going to look really great when we wax it. But the way I'm going to force this into submission is I'm going to sand the whole thing with this like medium grit sanding sponge, and then I'm going to come back and wet distress and kind of reactivate the paint, and that will help it chip a little bit better. All right, so I sanded the whole thing down with 220 and the orbital sander, and I've got this rag here. It's lint free. I'm gonna use it for 2 reasons. 1, to remove the sanding dust, but 2, I'm gonna wet distress. I'm just gonna come across these edges, and I'm just gonna pull my rag back and remove some of that paint. Careful if you do this, because you could reactivate the paint and get more chipping than you were planning on. So know that when you wet distress, you always risk additional chipping, but in my case, I wouldn't mind. So I'm just gonna go ahead and go over this whole piece, take off the dust, and do a little wet distress and bring out some of that original finish. All right, so I've got oil wax and dark. Sasha has
clear.
Oil wax and clear.
This is from Sweet Pickins.
Yes, Sweet Pickins Oil Wax. Be sure to go, if you haven't already, to jamirayvintage.com and you can pick up all the products that we're using. And when we're all done, I'll give you a whole list of every product used. I've shook this up really good. When you buy this, you definitely want to shake it up because some of the pigments go down to the bottom. You want to make sure it's evenly distributed through the whole thing of oil wax. So this is all natural, non-toxic, which is great if you're going to be using it inside, if you're going to be using it around children, furniture, for a nursery. You always want to make sure your products are all natural. Sasha's going to show me how to put it on because I actually have never really paid much attention. I just slap it on there. So what are we supposed to do?
She's using the dark because we want a little bit of age to our piece. And just remember too that the dark is going to, dark or black, whatever you use, is going to slightly change your color. So we just pour it into a cup. I've seen this done different ways. People, sometimes they use a rag to rub it on. I think this way is the best. That way you are be sure to get into every little crack and imperfection. Just really work it in there. And then you're just gonna do a thin coat over the whole entire thing. So this is how you seal your piece. So you don't have to do this and then do another sealer on top of it. This is all you're gonna use. So you'll just rub that on.
And then when we're done, you just throw the chip brush away.
Yeah, I just use that little container. That way I can just throw everything away instead of having to clean everything.
All right, how long does this have to sit on here once we put it on?
You can let it sit for about 15, 20 minutes. It's oil based, so it's not gonna dry on you. So like if you use a traditional beeswax, it dries a lot faster. But this one, you really have a lot of time. It has a lot of open time. You have a lot of time to work with it. Okay, so I'm just gonna use our clear wax because I wanna keep the color of my dresser. So you just dump it, same thing, pour it into a cup. You just do a light thin coat. You don't want your oil wax dripping and running everywhere. Just brush it over everything.
All right, Tasha, what do you do if you lose bristles? Because these chip brushes.
You know, it's not gonna matter on this because we're gonna wipe this off anyway. When you wipe it down, it's just gonna brush off. So don't worry.
Sweet.
And you know, this doesn't, this is a lot less elbow grease than like a typical beeswax.
So I'm going kind of heavy, but when I rub this off, it's not going to be this dark. It's not like a traditional glaze where you have to worry about it being real muddy because it will come off.
This looks scary, but it'll be so pretty.
Well, it's not supposed to
Once
look
you
like that. Is she doing a good job, Jack?
Yeah.
You want to do it, Jack? You can do Sasha's. Here, help Sasha.
Could you jump her? And just rub it all in.
Good job, Jack.
So good.
Yeah.
You gonna be a painter when you grow up? Yeah?
What is that yellow stuff?
It's the oil.
Oh.
It's like a sealer, Jack.
Put the oil on.
Yep, put the oil on.
Yeah, put the oil on so it can be nice and fresh, huh?
Nice and what?
Nice and fresh, huh?
Nice and fresh?
Yeah.
Yeah, sure. Fresh.
And then you.
Mm-hmm.
And you. And
Oh my gosh, you're a professional. You're great. You should be a painter.
I am a painter.
Do you do DIY with me?
Yeah.
Nice.
Guys,
Okay, so after this is sat, you want to give it about 15 minutes. We're going to come and wipe it down. So I always like to have 2 cloths with me. Okay, so just going to wipe the majority of the oil wax off. You just want to make sure you get most of it off, because sometimes if you don't, you'll have it'll run out and seep out and run down your furniture. Then I would wipe the whole thing off, and then I would come back with a clean cloth and then just give it one more wipe down. And when I'm wiping it down, I like to, on my final wipe, I like to just go in one long, even stroke. That's it. And then you would let this dry. This is oil, so it's gonna take a long time to dry, so I would just leave it overnight, and then you can start using it and put things on it. And I mean, it's dry to the touch. You're not gonna get anything on you, but you want it to dry overnight, and then it dries to like a really hard, durable finish. Okay, so pretty much the same thing on the clear. We're just gonna come in with our lint-free cloth and just give it a good wipe down. And then the same thing, I will wipe off the majority of the oil wax with one cloth, and I'll come back in with a clean cloth. and give it one more wipe down.
The oil wax will stay in all the cracks, but really wipes off pretty well from the flat surfaces. It does deepen your color, but it doesn't look muddy and dirty. And you can see this is what it looked like when I just put it on there. And then this is what it looks like completely wiped off. It's all down in the nooks and crannies. And in person, it really adds a great aged effect. Thank you, Sasha, for letting me come to your shop today. It was really fun. Make sure you guys go to Sweet Pickins. We'll put the link below. That way you can watch the first part of this video and you can check out her other videos. She's going to do more.
Yes.
Lots more. She's got amazing farmhouse style. If that's something you love, definitely subscribe to her channel. We used First Crush, Moody Blue, a little bit of Extra Bond, and then we used oil wax in dark. And we used oil wax in clear for Sasha's.
Yeah.
Be sure to go to JamiRayVintage.com so you can get the exact same looks on your pieces as well as anything else you need for DIY. If you have any friends you think that might love this video, that love a good chippy milk paint finish, be sure to share this video because we'd love to help them out with their projects. Yeah. Don't forget to hit the notifications button so you don't miss out on any videos. Give us a thumbs up and subscribe to Jami Ray Vintage for more DIY. Hey guys! Stop it though. All right.
It looks great on camera. It's cool. Looks
Hey,
like she
guys.
knocked someone out.